Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and I'm hesitant about showing y'all this, but let me show you this wonderful space I got here. As you can see, I thank God for all the new space that we have by moving in here, but you can see my workspace is a mess because I have a project coming up. So this is going to be a part 2 of Rose Chapel, of where I show you how we're going to set up all of these cameras. And again, I thought I had a lot of space. No, I don't. So anyway, let's get in here. All the rest of the stuff came in, and what I want to do is, especially after we got the presentation PC set up, we're going to clean up some space so I can have some space, hook up all the cameras, set up the cameras, because we did this on a Q&A last week, but I want to do it again for this same purpose of setting up the joystick, the cameras, the ATEM, and everything, and how it can function without internet access. So we got our bunch of PoE switches and stuff like this for different parts of the church, but we got our AJaytheCEO joystick to go with our AJaytheCEO cameras. I don't even know if you saw that because I'm holding this way, but let me clear out some space. And then we're going to go through doing this, and then we're going to be doing this again because we actually have a live streaming bundle that I sell on my website that I guess people forgot about that I have. I'm actually going to be configuring that, and this is the same thing where I get everything, pre-configure it, box it up, send it to the church. So technically, the only thing they have to do is mount the cameras and follow the instructions that I put in place, and then you should be good to go. But anyway, let me clean this space out, and let's go ahead and set this up. Alrighty, folks, so we got everything set up here. Hopefully y'all can see everything. I have my desk set up so that you should be able to see, for the most part, everything that's here on the table. We have our joystick. So, and I need to actually move this so you can actually see. And again, please ignore all of the wires. I understand. All right, so this is my little patch panel that I have connected to my PoE switch that's under the table. So that's gonna actually, never mind. I have the PoE switch that's actually going to the church is actually right here. So let me get all of this stuff as best as I can out of the way. And the mindset when I do stuff like this is I want it to be set up to where everything is already pre-configured. And just like we talked about in our Q&A, I want to have everything set up to where if the internet went out, everything would still work. And by doing that, we're going to make a closed network between all of mainly just the cameras and the joystick. But again, all that other stuff is fine. We'll have it partnered up and paired up with the internet that's at the church once it's there. All right, so I just powered on the PoE switch. It is, actually, I'm gonna disconnect it from my network here. So it is completely by itself. And if I flip the joystick on, it's getting power from here as well too. I should have probably moved the ATEM out of the way so I can have some more space. All right, let me disconnect this one and get a little longer cable for this camera so that we can see all of them in one shot. And I need to make a bunch more short cables. That's what I realized I have an issue with. All right, so now I have everything being connected through the PC because I want to do everything this way. And that reminds me, I need to have the computer connected to this as well too. So let's disconnect my computer, well, not my computer, their presentation computer. and we're going to connect it to this closed network. So the cameras, the computer, and the joystick are completely separate. And the ATEM is on the regular network. I guess, might as well connect that one too. All right, so everything is on its own network. So let me actually get my chair so I can actually sit down for this one. All right, so now hopefully y'all can see me. Yeah, so we're gonna be using the computer to set everything up. And I was gonna say, I need to make sure that I have the advanced IP scanner downloaded, and I was gonna have to hook everything up, but we actually do have everything set up. All right, had a little technical difficulty right there, but all right, so we are here on the computer, the presentation system, and we have no internet of any way, shape, or form. We are connected, but as you can see, we have no internet. I did not connect to Wi-Fi in any way, shape, or form. So first, the assumption is most IP addresses that are at default are like 192.168.0.1 or it's .1.1, something like that. Sometimes Comcast Business does 10.0.0.1, something like that. So we're just going to set up our own network first and just realize if this does not work when we plug everything into the church, we just need to change it, but we're just going to do this stuff all over again. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a static IP address for our network. So this is the one that's connected to our PoE switch, but it doesn't have anything. So if we come here to properties, go to IP protocol and version, and then go to internet, version 4, go to properties. Right now it's set to obtain automatically. We're going to use the following IP addresses. So we're just going to do the default 192.168.1.1. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And the default gateway is the same thing. And actually, I'm sorry, it should not be 1. That's your gateway. So I'm going to start this, I don't know, 20. Let's do this as 20. It can be anything, but I like to have my stuff sequential. And then the gateway is 192.168.1.1, the very first part of it. Your DNS doesn't really matter. I just like to put it at the same thing, 192.168.1.1. All right, so now this computer has an actual IP address. So now we have to build off of everything else. So if I switch this over here and switch this to my overhead, now that the computer is set to an IP address, we need to start doing the same thing on our cameras. So cameras and joysticks. And I need to zoom in so that y'all can see. All right, so we're here on the joystick and hopefully y'all can see that. What we need to do is set this to an IP address just like we did. So the computer is set at 20. Again, I like my stuff to be in order. So I'm gonna actually make this 22 and make the ATEM 21. So let's go here to setup. Instead of DHCP, we're gonna push in and change this to off and then set the IP address. So that's 192, and that beeping is getting annoying. 1, 8. And did I put a 1 or a 0? I forgot that fast. So we're going to do 1. And again, this is going to be 22. All right. Net mask is that 255.255.255.0. Then our gateway is 192.168. 192. Did a 1 for whatever reason. 168.1. Off. And let's do advanced because I need to get rid of that beeping sound. And I think I actually just missed it. Now advanced, beep, off. Thank you, Lord. Let's change this All right, so that makes it easier to see. So we have a static IP address and everything. All right. So let's go ahead and switch back to the computer. So now that we got our joystick and everything set up, now we need to get to our cameras. Now, by default, these are set to DHCP. And again, I think we changed that when we went to the cameras, when we were setting up everything. I can't remember. No, they're actually DHCP, excuse me. They came out like that. But since we don't have a router that is handing out and assigning IP addresses for that dynamic host client protocol, I think I got that right. Since there's nothing to sign it out, these are just out here in limbo. So what I like is, and this works with a lot of other cameras, especially this one, it is the upgrade tool that I have a link down below. I've used that multiple times, and we're gonna do the upgrade, and I like this because it will find the cameras as long as it's on the network. It doesn't have to be an IP address that's assigned to everything, because that's what we're getting ready to do. So let's go ahead and pick our network, which is the one we just did, the 1.20. Let's do a search. Give it access. And boom, look, it found the cameras. Yay. So even though, as you can see, they're still default as 100.88 and stuff like that. So I don't know which one is which. We're going to get them switched over. So let's just put them on our range. So we're going to come here. We're going to do a config, and we're going to set these manually. And we're going to put our IP address to 192.168.1.23. 192.168.1. Oh, yeah, that 1.1. DNS is 1.1. Let's set that. Now we hit OK, and let's see if it reboots. Anyway, this camera right here, this is the 30X. This is the one that's going to be in the back, the furthest run in the sanctuary. So the main thing is I'm just looking to find out which one is which, and we're going to switch these around. It really doesn't matter, but I mean, I'm a nerd like that I like my stuff sequentially in order. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. So let's switch back over here to the desktop, and let's set the other cameras. So if I go back here to the search, as you can see, this one is on our network, our closed network, and we're just going to rinse and repeat. So we're going to do this at 24 and at 25. Let's change this to 1.24. Change that to 1. Change that to 1. Oop. Set. We'll see which one of these turns around. All right, that's the middle. That's good. This is one of the side ones. And then we'll get this last one here, and that would be 25. All right, so now all of these are manually set. I hope it's this last one. Oh, okay, now I have it backwards. 23 was this one, so I need to, it doesn't matter. We got them all turned around, so that's fine. All right, so now we have the desktop part done. If we do a search one more time, 25. All right, so it's there. So let's close this. Let's switch back to our overhead. All right, so now we need to get and link the camera to our joystick. So let me zoom in here. And this is why I guess I need to buy another one of these joysticks so that I actually have it on my desk so I don't have to keep doing this. All right, so we're here. So now, because we're on our closed network, we should be able to just go here to search. And we're gonna look for Visca IP. And there we go, 23, 25, 24. Now we know 25 is this one, the 30X is gonna go in the back. So we're gonna go ahead and hit that one, And we're going to set that to camera number 1 and do save. And that was unique. All right, it's save, and we'll do, it actually gives a name. I've never seen that. Well, maybe this is a firmware update on this camera. But anyway, we got that. We do call. All right, so now we're on camera number 1, which is this one. So if we move it, there we go. So we're all connected. And again, we do not have any internet connection on this. All right. So that's good. So if I cut over to the camera here, that is this camera that I am moving. All right. You see the desk. You see the joystick of me moving all of this. And this, again, there is no internet connected to this. So can I spin this around? And there is the PoE switch hanging off the corner of my desk. All right. So boom, there we go. So now let's go ahead and switch back over to our overhead. And we're going to zoom in and we're going to set all the rest of our cameras. Let's go to search Visca IP. Let's just do 23 and 24 in order. We'll change this, add this to number 2. Save. And again, I think I did that wrong. It's supposed to be call. So now we're on number 2. And then let's do it one more time. And let's get the last one, and that's 24. We're going to add this to camera number 3. Save. And actually, let's see, does that actually work? Because I saved it as 3. Will it work if I just go? Yeah, it does. All right, so good. We're at camera number 3. Let's zoom out here. All right, so we're at camera number 3. If we move it, there we go. There's our middle one. Up and down. All right, we go to camera 2, which is this one. We're connected. And there we go. So we got motion everywhere. All right. So now let's go ahead and switch back to the multi-view so that y'all can see everything. Now this is the multi-view from the ATEM that's going to the church. All right. So as you can see, we got everything done. We got our screens, we got everything. Now you only see the taskbar on the PC because I duplicated the screen. I do have this Windows license activated. So when we, actually, let me do it now. So if I change this to an extended monitor, you'll see the taskbar at the bottom is gone. All right, so if I open up Presenter, the main thing is we were able to get, without internet, we can control all the cameras and all that other good stuff. And I think the last one I didn't do. I mean, before we connect, let's do the very last thing. Now, there's really, I was going to say there's really no point in doing this if this is not going to work. And I'm not connected with the ATEM. Man, what happened? I must have did a whole lot of stuff I wasn't aware about. So the USB cable to the ATEM came loose because it's not showing in my list. So there we go. We got it connected now. And there we go. All right, so now USB is needed for this to set the IP address. So we're going to do the same thing here. See, this is static. It's getting the IP address from how I have everything connected. But we're going to change this to a static one. So this is 20, 21, this should be 22, or is this 21? See, you see how fast I completely forget where I was at? Let's go to our adapters. Let me go to status, and that's 20. The joystick, yeah, so the ATEM is going to be 21. All right. So using the USB is how you're going to set this. We set that to 21, change our gateway, and boom, save. Now, as you see, it just changed. Now we can see it on our network. And we're still not connected to anything with the internet. Now we can talk to each other. Now, my other computers won't be able to see it, but we're good. All right. So if internet got disconnected, which I'm gonna actually go ahead and do it again. Let's disconnect the internet from here. So again, this is all still closed. I can still remote into it. If you had a laptop or whatever that was on this network, it can still talk to it. So right now, if I disconnect the USB cable, you see it gets disconnected. But if we go to connections, we can still see it because it is on a closed network. So again, the USB is right here. Nothing is connected. Everything, the cameras, the computer, the joystick, the ATEM is all on this closed network that we just set up, all right? Now, what I need to do is so that we can fully set up everything else with our cameras and everything, I need to put the computer back on the Wi-Fi, and that's just because of Presenter, all right? And actually, let me see if my account is still on here, so I wonder if it'll let me log in because my account does not require internet access. All right, no, it won't. All right, so now we're in. What we want to do is come in here and dial in our lower third stuff. So if we come in here to our palettes, remember we set our downstream key to pull from the computer. That is the other output. Now we need to just dial that in. So let me go ahead and switch back to our, now actually before I do that, all we're gonna do is turn off this pre-multiply key, and we're just gonna drag these back and forth until we get the exact coloring and everything that we want. All right, so for me to do this, I have to turn this off so y'all won't be able to see this. So let's go back to our multi-view real quick. And I'm gonna switch this back to extended. So you'll get nothing but a clean screen here. And let's go ahead and switch back to here so it's full screen. I'm gonna bring up this scripture here. So you see that, that's coming from Presenter. Now, what I want to do is make a lower third version of that. Please make sure you go check out the videos where I show you how to do that. I'm just gonna select James, search for that. I'm gonna put it in a lower third configuration, and then I'm gonna launch that. So now it looks just like this. And I need to turn off those footers and stuff like that to get that up out of the way. There we go, our footer is gone. So now that's nothing but black screen and then our text at the bottom. That's good. That's what's going to the ATEM. So now let's go ahead and switch back to this camera, which is camera number 1. Let's go ahead and move this up so you can see the joystick and everything like that is still working. And let me see, can I turn it around? Let's actually go to camera number 2. And I'm gonna turn this on me. All right, so that works better. Now I'm gonna go back into our ATEM software, and just by default, without setting anything, I'm gonna turn on the DSK. And actually, that's not bad. Without any adjustments, we're good. So we might not need to adjust anything. Of course, this is gonna change when we're actually at the church, but we got this set up. So yay, I really don't have to do anything else from here. We can turn this on and off, and we're there, and we got everything going, all right? Really slick. So at this point, I think we're pretty good because we got our camera set up, we got our joystick. Now, be mindful that if anything was to happen when we get to the church, what we're gonna have to do is go through here. I'm gonna especially do this on the computer. Hopefully the IP address matches. If not, we're just gonna change it to match the network. But again, because these are set statically, meaning that we specifically say this is the IP address, even if the internet went down, we can still control it. Now, we do want to put make sure this is in the range that's in the network there, so that everything can be connected. The ATEM can get on the internet, the computer can get on the internet, all that other good stuff. But hopefully, typically most of these routers are in that 192.168.0 or .1 range. And if they don't, then you just change it to whatever it is. The easiest way for you to do that is go to your computer, PC, Mac, whatever, go to your network, see what the IP address range is, the first 3 sets of that 4 set of numbers, which is like in my example, 192.168. Whatever number, 0, 1, whatever, dot. The first 3 are what matters. That's what we need to change this. But hopefully, in experience, I probably might have to change that 3rd number from 0 to a 1 or something. But that's what we will go through, and I will highlight that. Let me know if you have any other questions. Again, we're going to be doing this again for church, where it has the bundle that I have on my website where I pre-configure all of this for you. And literally you just take it, hang it up, put it in the location, and it just works outside of this change in the network that we just talked about. So if you're interested in that, link is down below. It takes about a week turnaround time for me to get that information, get all the equipment in, configure it, repackage it up, and send it to you. But I'm going to take a little bit longer just to show you what comes in the package, how it's configured, how you set it up, and everything like that. And hopefully that will make the install, if you're looking to add anything like that for your ministry, a lot easier. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell, that way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry, folks. Thanks for watching. This is AJ. We'll catch you on the next video. Later.